I'm all in 110 is about to begin. Come on in and join the experiment in kindness. Extreme kindness in an extreme world. A revolution of love spreading its way. Spreading to the land day by day. Come on in, it's about to begin. Come on in, it's about to begin. Welcome in, it's about to begin. I'm all in 110. Hey, hello everybody and welcome. Welcome to I'm all in 110 and extreme kindness in an extreme world. It starts with me, then we, then they, and then the world. Spreading love and kindness, creating happy people by the things they think and the things we say to each other and to ourselves. So welcome. This is season 5, episode 18, and it is part of a series called Healing. And the last episode I did was on healing, and it was talking about my spider bite. We touched base on several things, and this time I'm going to do my absolute best to stay on point. But there's so much when you think about healing that you can't just go over it quickly, even though I'm still just going over my 2 cents, if that makes any sense. I can't help myself, folks. All right, so anyway, last episode, a couple of weeks back, I was telling you about my spider bite and how I did home remedies and kept a really close eye on it, and I did want to show you. I did keep a good eye on it. I nursed it, and yeah, so it's gone. I think there's just a little itty bitty space right there, and now there's a light itch that is a healing itch. So I still like to put aloe vera or vitamin A and D. So the point is on that, watch it, but remember that you have the responsibility and the right to take good care of yourself, monitor yourself, know your body. And I guess that's the most important thing about health, that I think that when I think about everything, whether it be an incident or an accident, or a quick thing like poison ivy or stepping on a nail, or brown recluse spider, and several other things that happen in life, big and small, or the big diagnoses and or heartbreak and love, where you have to heal yourself from that also. Those are the 3 major things that I want to talk about as far as healing. But today is going to be about big diagnoses. Hold on one second. Let me see what Melvin is. Melvin, what do you want? Come here. You want me to give you a pet? Dogs love to be pet. And actually, in case you don't know, if you pet a dog or a cat or an animal for at least 2 minutes, you give them and yourself dopamine, which is the feel-good, natural, whatever that gets released into your body. So, are you better now? Would you mind going to lay down? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, you just want to play. He might want to go back outside. I don't know. He's been outside playing. Anyway, so I want to get right to our episode on healing today. I do have a lot to talk about, but I, of course, have to touch base on challenge number 3. Help Angie play ukulele. So I'm still wanting a few more challenges on the ukulele. I am getting it back this coming up week, my ukulele, and I'm going to start rehearsing. So if you're watching this episode right now and you just heard me sing challenge number 3, help Angie play ukulele. What that means is I would love it if you entered into challenge number 3. I'm doing challenges all the way up until I get 1,000 subscribers. Once I get 1,000 subscribers, everyone who has liked, subscribed, and competed in at least one challenge, which isn't hard. You got the easy part. You challenge me, and then I attempt to do it. Then everybody that gets put into the pot, and someone is going to win a trip, a vacation to Branson, Missouri, which is in the middle of the United States, my hometown. Well, my home away from hometown. Originally from Texas. You can take the girl out of Texas, but you can't take the y'all out of the girl. But this girl's been in Missouri a long time now. It's the show me state, and I want to show you I mean business. So it's very simple. Subscribe, highly, highly important, because yes, you're helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. Okay? And in return, somebody's going to get to win a Branson, Missouri trip. But we can have fun while we do it. So the challenge number 3 is helping me learn how to play ukulele. In the comments, put a song you would like me to practice and learn and play on one of my upcoming videos. I will practice it, I will learn it, and I will play it until I've gotten good at playing ukulele. Then we'll move on to challenge 4. All right? So that's how that goes. So challenge number 3 is open-ended right now until I learn how to play ukulele. I would appreciate you putting a comment of a song you'd like me to hear, you'd like to hear me play. I would love to see you like any one of our videos. And when I say ours, I mean mine, because it's I'm all in 110. Extreme kindness and an extreme. Melvin, what do you want, boy? Okay, I guess Melvin's taking a part of the show today, too. I don't know. He just came inside, so I'm not really sure if he wants to go back outside or not. What do you want? You want to go outside? Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Are you coming, Melvin? You coming outside? Okay, he seemed happy about that, and so did Sage. So they're both outside now, barking at the rain from underneath the deck. So, challenge number 3, come up with a song that you want to hear me sing. Not sing, not yet. Ukulele, learn how to play it. Like and subscribe, and you're entered into the contest. When we get to 1,000 people, we will give away a great prize to Branson, Missouri. Okay, the other thing is, I've been doing my kindness cards. I hope that you catch them on the shorts. Every day I do a kindness card. And when I do my videos, which are longer than a minute, I like to take a moment and pull out a card, which I did. I pulled out a card. I have not wrote a poem about it yet, but out of my kindness card collection that I make. You can catch all of that on the videos if you want to peruse and get a feel for I'm all in 110, extreme kindness in an extreme world. But in the meantime, here's a kindness card. And this is the one I drew today. Love, period. And so I want to give an intuitive reading on why I think this is important, why I drew this one today. And I guess what I should say about that is I think to love, period, is important every single day. There are certain things that I've learned through my healing process, which I can officially say began around 2014, 15, through a series of events, including dis-ease. But the thing that I learned is non-judgmental love, or another word, unconditional love, or another word, love, period. I had a dream once, and the dream was this. In my ear, a voice said, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." And I said, what do you mean? And the voice said, I use time and cause and effect for all my purposes. And I said, like karma? And then I said, what am I supposed to do? And the voice said, love everyone and judge no one. So I woke up from that dream, and I knew that my life had just got a lot easier. that now I don't have to look at anybody in any way. I don't have to be afraid of anyone in any way. I don't have to look at them and wonder if they're doing right or wrong, because it's none of my business. It isn't. And if it becomes my business, it's because they're in my business, and then I still get to walk or handle it in a peaceful way for me, okay? Because it's not my place to judge anyone. I have one job, to love, period. So I think this is an important thing. If we could all get to the point of unconditional love, to love our fellow man, to love ourselves, to love our supreme beings the way you love them, because it's not my place to tell you who to love and how to love. And I'm free. Do you see what I mean? I'm free because I don't have to judge anyone, and I get to love everyone. And I had an epiphany, and it is a video that I need to get over to YouTube. It's over on I'm All In 110 on my Facebook page. If you ever get a chance to go over there, I would love for y'all to pop in and see what's happened over the last several years over there. And I will admit I've started committing to YouTube a lot now, 110, but I still keep my page and do things, and especially my community work through my Facebook page. But there is a video, and it's called Layers of Love. And it was an epiphany that I had, and this is it. I used to think that love was something that, unconditional love is something you strive for. It's the epitome of love, the best of love. And I was told by God, by the Father, by my heart, that I had it completely upside down and backwards, like an upside down cake. And I said, what do you mean? And it's layers. Love is like a layer of a layer cake, okay? And the foundation of every delicious cake, or every strong building, or every strong relationship, the foundation is the most important. It's the strength. It's what holds everything together. And that's where unconditional love is. Unconditional love is what you build everything else upon. See how we got it upside down? At least I did. I'm admitting it. So love, period. And that is my intuitive thought for the collective at this time in our history. And so to love, period, just means to judge no one and love everyone, because we don't have to. It's not our place. And I promise you that is a huge beginning to heal. And now that's a great transference into healing. And today we're going to be talking about big C, big D, big H's. I'm talking about like heart disease and the big stuff, the big diagnoses. Quite honestly, I don't like to give them too much thought, because I believe that if we focus on goodness, those things will have no choice but to fade away. But that could be the Pollyannish in me, and I'm willing to wait it out and see. But I do want to share with you what I learned for me during the time that I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And I first have to say this because it's a thread, it's a tapestry. I didn't wake up one morning and suddenly just, wham, you got stage 3 breast cancer. No. What I realized during that and through that was it started a long time ago, probably years ago. Environmentally, for sure. I did have some, some of the things that they said, if you have this and this and this, if you start your period at a young age, if you start menopause at a young age, if, these different things, if you're on birth control, you might end up with cancer. I didn't smoke or anything like that. If you do a lot of caffeine, which I don't believe that at all. But anyway, my point is that yes, and yes, my grandmother, whom I did not know, I allegedly died of cancer, of breast cancer. I don't know that. She died when I was way long before I was born, when my mom was just a kid. So things were different back then. However, with that being said, it is ironic because of the things I'm about to tell you. I know that my grandmother came from a very, very, very strict religious upbringing, and a church that really believed in hellfire and damnation, but more than that, strong, if you sin, you will go to hell and you will die. And if you get sick, it's probably because you've sinned and you have to repent and you have to have complete faith that, you're going to be healed and God's going to heal you. And so, because of the things I'm about to say, you're going to say, whoa, wait a minute. You'd think you'd be completely against, perhaps something that might have, hurt your grandmother way back then. I don't know that answer. I know what I've only learned for myself through my journey. And I think that fear, which not knowing my grandmother, but having an extreme small amount as a very young child, and knowing my mother, who came out of that particular religion, fear was the thing that kept my mother, my family, I'm assuming my grandparents, and almost me in its clasp. And so I'm blessed to say that I've learned that if it's a fear, it's not of God, it's not love. If it's love, it's from goodness. If it's fear, it's not from goodness. So that's something you've got to work through, whether it comes from our own mind, from our negative thoughts, from the environment around us, all of the above. This is what we have to come through. And it's not easy because we're spoon-fed it from the moment we're born. And I'm not the only one for, whether it be, my background, maybe a religious background, and a lot of other stuff. That's just one little, category of that. But everybody, gets born into some form of fear in this system of things, unfortunately. And I am looking forward to the day when that doesn't happen anymore. So I want to go back to my diagnosis. I say it started a lot sooner because besides those environmental things and the fear and anxiety and stress that I had attempting to, be Wonder Woman, have the perfect marriage, have the perfect business, be the perfect mom, run the perfect show business, have 20 dogs, 15, it just went on. And I loved it. I'm not saying that I didn't love it, but it was very stressful to continue to do that day in and day out, and to always, make that money, watch it burn, throw it in the river of the lessons I've learned. See what I mean? And anyway, and then what I did not know, besides all of that, is that bitterness and resentment also causes dis-ease. I didn't know that I was bitter and resentful, but let me tell you the series of events that happened. Stress, 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 busy life, running around trying to, keep a business going, keep a home going, keep 20 dogs going, paying the bills, making sure that the show was booked, getting further and further away from a true friendship relationship from my marriage, which we had started off as friends, but somehow, you find yourself in the midst of all of this business and life and going, and you realize, hey man, we have not been nice to each other. Yeah, we perform for each other and we perform for the world, and we're really good when we perform for the world, but that's on stage. What's happening backstage? So my point is that the pain and stress of all of that, then breaking up into the marriage, and then immediately finding myself in a series of, the thing is when you break up a marriage and a business all at once, I knew that I was about to go down a rabbit hole I'd never been down before, at least in 20, 30 years, but I did not know what that meant. And come to find out, you get the pain and the suffering of the separation and all of that. Then, being back out in the world, dating again, and I never really even dated. Then I found myself in the court system because I got a DWI, and this is one thing after another. I want to say I'm going to do a whole video on that. I want to say this. On that particular day, I was not drinking and driving, but I have drank and drive before, and I do believe that it's just a matter of time. That's what all I'm saying is, what you reap, you sow. You really, really have to be purposed and conscientious about the things that we do. And I work hard at that now because it's not just me out there, Anyway, I took that for granted. A lot of us do. But that put me in the system where I learned so much. Good stuff too. Really good stuff. That's a whole nother story. And then right after that, I found out that I had stage 3 breast cancer, and it really wasn't right after that, but it felt like it. It was like the domino effect because everything took longer. And it was like as soon as I got out of one thing, it's like right when me and my ex were starting to be able to talk again and be friendly with each other, not so angry with each other, which was highly important to me because we were best friends our whole life, right? I got the DWI. And the DWI put me into the system. And when I say that means I went to AA. I did everything because it was the first and only time I ever gotten in trouble. And I wanted to just exonerate my name and do all those things. That taught me some huge, amazing things. Right after I got through that. And then there's a whole nother level of my daughter who was growing up, during all of this, which was not easy for her at all. It was like one thing after another for that poor girl. However, we are on the other side of all of that. So I get diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and I'm in shock, of course, and I felt like, wow, what I thought was, wow, this path that I've taken. I knew I was supposed to take this path, but it's a doozy. No wonder I took so long getting on the right path. And so many things go through your head when you're first diagnosed. And so now I want to get really serious, and I want to talk to those folks, the people, my friends, my families, the people out there right now that may stumble across this, and maybe you just got diagnosed. And there's some very many important things I want to say to you right now. Stay calm. Stay calm and don't buy into the labels that you're going to be put on, that people are going to put onto you, okay? Don't claim it. This is a journey that you're going to go through, okay? No matter what they say. No matter what they say to you, if they say you've got this amount of time, let it go in one ear and out the other, okay? If they say that, you know, you've got to do this or you're going to do that, don't react. Listen to it and don't react at that point. At this point, when you're told this, there's going to be a lot of things thrown at you. And you're going to be in shock. And you're going to be numb. And you're not going to know what to do. There's something I always say. And that is this. In times of trouble, what do? People say, call 911. I say, no. Call God. Then call 911. Now, I don't care what you call God. You can call God Father. You can call God Source. You can call God the universe. You can say, like I did, Father Love. You can say Abba. You can say whatever you say. Because here's the thing. The creator of all things, that created all of us, when the creator of all things set things in motion with the laws of the universe, that great, masterful creator loves you and wants to give you every single thing you have that you want. Every single thing. This is your choice right then. I want you to go somewhere and I want you to reflect, because there's going to be lots of different reasons of how you got there, but that don't matter, okay? It matters how you get through it from that point on. All right? What I want you to reflect on is this. We're going to talk about the physical part, but I want to talk about the emotional part right now. I want you to reflect on forgiving yourself. And I want you to think about how or who or what are you mad about, that you're fearful about, what you've held bitterness about, what you've held resentment about. And over the next several days and weeks, I want you to write it all down, okay? I want you to write down every single thing that you feel that you've been a victim on, that you've been treated wrong on, that you hold a grudge about, that you're mad about, that you're sad about, that you're fearful about, that you're angry about. Who's it about? Write it all down, okay? Please do this, okay? And then after you've done that and you've really looked it over, I want you to take this and I want you to say, I forgive. I forgive each and every situation. And if it helps you to read each and every one out, do it. Do it. And then I want you to say, and I forgive myself. I forgive myself for not treating myself well. I want to forgive myself for not finding myself worthy. Whatever it is, okay? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, okay? You'll know. You'll know. When you've done that, then find a way to release it, whether you throw it in the river, you tear it up, you burn it, whatever it is, you release it. Now, what does it mean to forgive? You never tell the story again. You never tell the story about how somebody did anything to you from that point on. You forget it. And that's the beginning of healing. Okay? This is highly important. The next thing I'd like you to do is I want you to decide. Do you want to live? Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be stronger than you've ever been and be in a victorious statement for how you as a human being and a child of the Most High can come through anything to the other side and be a pillar of strength for the next person? Now, this is an important thing because I believe that there are times when we're ready. We're ready to move on. You know, it depends on a lot of things, I guess. I know I wasn't ready. I chose to live. I made a conscious decision that I was going to live. It never once entered my mind that I wasn't going to, and I think that's something that each of us have to do to decide that, okay? I think there was a time that I didn't know because I had a dream where I was walking around this party and I was dressed in this beautiful gown, and there were so many people there that I knew from all my childhood all the way up to, you know, my life at that time. There were a few people that weren't there, which I was kind of surprised, but everybody kept saying, "Why are you here? I thought you were going to be gone." And I was like, well, I haven't decided what I want to do. So, okay, so those are the things that you have to decide, okay? Now, the next thing that happened to me is I decided, of course, to turn it over to God, the Father, as I know, the Father, because that is my background. But more than that, my whole life I feel surrounded by love, and I feel like I've been, you know, God's been with me even through all the things that I've learned, and I've learned a lot, and I've learned that the graciousness of the Most High is every single place and every single where, and you don't have to go find it somewhere because it's literally all around you, there for the offering. So at that point, I did have prayer put on me. I asked people to pray for me. I asked lots of people to pray for me, but I also asked specific prayer. I think this is very important. I did not just ask for people to pray. Now, this is something important because people don't realize it, but they pray what they want on people, not what maybe you want or maybe what Father wants. So that's very important, to just generally ask for prayer. You don't know what those people are praying. I mean, I hate to say it, but you have to be careful. You're protecting your heart, you're protecting your body, you're protecting your soul and your spirit. Yes, I think it's important to pray. Highly important, the most important. And it's most important to ask for favor and quite honestly, you can ask anything. Ask anything and it will be given to you. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and you shall find it. Or knock and it shall be opened. Seek and you shall find. So whenever I asked for prayer, and every single day that I had to go into a treatment, I asked for prayer, and I asked for specifically, I asked for people to be in prayer agreement that the toxins would go through me, work on what needed to be worked on, and leave my body as healthy as possible, and that I would be cleansed. I also appreciated anything that any well wishes, any positive vibes. Somebody wanted to do distance Reiki on me, light a candle, make me a prayer blanket, whatever. Bring me fruit, give me some advice, tell me things. So, long story short, I accepted it all. I felt like everything that came my way was meant for me to be in my way so I could learn. And I did start learning a lot. I learned that when you have disease in your body, besides your emotional self, your body. And a lot of times it's because of the way we treat our body based on, well, there's several different reasons. The foods that we are partaking in that is available for us are not healthy. The things that we're addicted to, especially my generation, we were literally raised up on Happy Meals. It's true. So, and TV dinners and TV, and it's when the sedentary, that's why these diseases are so high. I mean, it's a combination of all of this, you know. I'm just telling you, we don't have our defense mechanisms up to heal ourselves. The other thing is that in the early 1900s, we started wearing rubber on our feet instead of getting out in the earth to ground ourselves, which makes us naturally healthy also. These are the things I started learning. What I learned during the time of, okay, let me back up a minute. My daughter wanted me to go to do the traditional treatments, and I had not thought about it, and I wanted my daughter to be happy. She had gone through a lot already with the other stuff that had happened over the last few years. So having been told that her mother, you know, and she's the only child, you know, had stage 3 breast cancer, was devastating to her. And she said, please, Mom, do everything. So I decided I would, but I also said to myself, I'm not just going to go in and do what the doctors say. I'm also going to do other stuff too, because I did not want, I don't know, I just had a feeling about it. I guess that's the way I should say it. I had a feeling that I should reach out and really learn about other ways, because the way I look at it is there's just way too much disease and way too easy, and it's costs so much money, and there's so much money to be made. So you put all those things together and it makes you go, So I wanted to do my best to learn everything about healing myself while doing what I'm about to do, which is throw toxins and chemicals into my body through a port, right? So I started researching. Now, the first thing I started researching was, and it was vanity, I'm sure, but I'm going to lose my hair. And what I did do, I started researching about how and why you lose your hair. And basically the medicine goes to the fast-moving molecules. And not only are cancer cells fast-moving molecules, but so is your digestive tract, your hair follicles, your eyebrows, your eyelashes. And that made me start thinking, and I did some research, and I found this thing in Great Britain called the cold cap, which they do have in Great Britain and Europe, but not here. It costs about $1,500 there, but about $15,000 if I could have got one. But of course I couldn't. But basically it's a cap that you put on your hair to keep it cold, because you keep your hair, your cells in your head cold, so that the medicine doesn't realize that, you know, those are hot moving cells normally. And so that made me think. I'm like, okay, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? Even though I don't have that machine, I can make something. And also, if it's cold that the toxins are looking for, and you only want them to get to the spots, not the rest of your body, I thought, well, I'll slow down that. I'll slow all of that down. Because when you go into the treatments, they have you food, you're hooked up. It's, you know, they make it as comfortable for you as possible. And it made sense to me. So I built myself what I called the Ozark Hillbilly cold cap, and I filled an ice cooler with dry ice and tons of frozen popsicles, and a head thing. And then my friends, including my ex who helped me through all of this, and we became friends again. And that was the good story that takes us through, and how life is funny. He helped me keep that going. So the point is, I did not lose my hair for a very long time. And that's a whole nother story that I'll have to tell you about sometimes. It's when I had dreads, but it was a crazy, and I was all worried about it. But, it went, I lost it, it came back. And also during that time, because of all the cold that I drank cold water, I did not eat any food because I didn't want the molecules to be showing up red. The whole treatment, right? And I got to tell you, I didn't have any digestive problems or anything. My hair, it took a lot longer. I kept my hair most of the time. In fact, my hair had started growing back underneath the dead hair that just is just naturally going to happen. So what I also learned there, okay, so back to emotional and thoughts and words. A friend of mine who she had major bone marrow cancer, and that's the other thing. Every cancer is different, and every heart disease, every single thing is different. So I don't want to. It's not a cookie cutter. This is what I did for me during this time, but I think there's some good ideas here. Don't use the word try. In fact, take that word out of your vocabulary completely. Don't say you're going to try. Try is just an excuse for not trying. Uh, I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. And my girlfriend told me that when I was like getting ready to start chemotherapy, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try. And she says, no, you're gonna do it. That word will not exist. You're throwing yourself under the bus if you even use that word. And she was right. And I took that word out of my vocabulary, and I use the word attempt these days, but that word has got to go out of your vocabulary, and you're going to do it. And here's the other thing. This is not a death sentence. If you tell yourself it's a death sentence, you might as well give up. And I don't want you to. You're going through this, okay? The psalm that says, "Lo, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death." You walk through a valley of a shadow. Do you see what I'm saying? It's an illusion. Do you see what I'm saying? You're walking through this, and on the other side, you're going to have a really fantastic victory story. Now, the reason why you have a disease of some kind is that your body is not alkaline, okay? Through all the stress and forgiveness, all of the emotional stuff, all of the physical stuff, all of the hereditary stuff, which, by the way, I don't think is highly important as much as the environmental and emotional stuff, okay? The food you put in your body, like I said, your body is not alkaline. Our body must be alkaline. You can look at it. It needs to be between 7 and 9. A lot of people know that these days. And since, in the last 10 years or 7 years or however long, you can get waters all over the place for alkaline. But did you know this? Did you know that lemon in water alkalines the water for your body? So truly, 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 all you've got to do is drink lemon water to alkaline your body every day. And of course, all my friends know how I always tout lemon water. And I'm going to tell you another great thing about lemon water. Now, if you don't like lemon water, you could also do the exact same thing with about a half a teaspoon, or you can make yourself a pitcher of water with baking soda in it. This will alkaline your body. You drink it every day. It'll keep you alkaline. Of course, eating healthy foods, which I'm going to put on you to research the foods you can eat. But there is something else I wanted to tell you about. I don't have this with me. It's turmeric. But whenever I was diagnosed, I started drinking turmeric every day. Now, I got Curamed. You can research that, and you can find it at the Whole Foods store, because I wanted it already made up, and I got the effervescent because I don't like to take pills. So I drank the Curamed every day because turmeric kukurum is, they call it the gold spice. It is great for every single disease. And mainly it's because it's an anti-inflammatory, and every single disease is based on inflammation. So hold on a second. I'm going to have a little sip of this. So, that's so good. So that's the important thing about. So that's why I started doing Cure Med. Okay. Also, if you get diagnosed, I want you to remember that you are in charge of your body. And if it doesn't feel right, you do not have to do it. And if you don't feel well, don't do it. But okay, this is what I want to say. Whenever you first go, because they don't want you to have allergic reactions to the different chemotherapies and stuff, they're also going to give you all kinds of other stuff. Hydrocodones, Ambien, all kinds of different things. To Benadryl, Tylenol. I took Tylenol and found out, and I didn't know it, but my liver numbers went up for four times higher. I couldn't even start my treatments because evidently I had a reaction to Tylenol, which I think a lot of people have reactions to Tylenol. Less is more. The goal, even right now, if you're going through a major diagnosis thing, keep in mind, even as you're going through it, less is more, less is more. I ended up not taking any extra pills. I didn't take Tylenol. I didn't take Benadryl. I didn't take hydrocodones. I didn't take any Ambien, whatever else it was. But I will tell you what I did take. I would smoke marijuana. I would take my chemo treatments. I'd come home from my chemo treatment. A friend of mine would have a joint for me. I would smoke that. I would sleep. And I got to tell you, I threw up one time. I think it's an herb, and I'm highly, highly excited that finally its benefits are being touted across the world, and the medicinal benefits of it, and it really does make a huge difference in myself. I think that, that should be something to be considered in part of any healing treatment. And let's see, the words you say upon yourself. Please don't claim this illness or this diagnosis. There was a time when I had asthma, and my whole life, up until my mid-30s, I was like, I'm an asthmatic. You know what? No, I am not. I told myself that because that's what I was told. You see what I'm saying? I was also very clumsy because I was told I was clumsy. I was also told I was pigeon-toed, so I was pigeon-toed. You know what? None of those are true. None of those are true. And I am a vibrant, healthy woman that continues to learn new things every single day. And that is what I'd like for you to say to yourself. All right? Whatever you put behind the words I am is what you are, what you become. So please do not claim your disease, because it's not a disease. I don't even like that word because that sounds like it's something that's going to be on you for this whole time. It is a situation. I don't care how big it is. I don't care. I don't care. Even if they say, you got 6 months, you got 3 months, then go out there and love and live every single day, okay? Because you get to choose. No one else chooses but you. I love you. And I'm saying these things because I want you to be healthy. And I want you to be vibrant. And I know it's possible. I've been through it. I came on the other side. I was told I was going to die. And I believe with my whole heart that when those things happen, when we're told that, if we really release all of it, if we really go into a deep reflection and don't just settle with what they're telling you, go into your heart, your soul, your spirit, your mind, and cleanse yourself by releasing resentment, releasing bitterness, releasing anger. I mean, you could be mad at uncle that did something when you were 5 years old, maybe they took your toy or something and you're upset about it. Write that down because your inner child needs to let that go. So this is a longer video than the last one. I'm sorry. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm sending you the second series of healing with love. The next series is going to be about your heart and how to heal a broken heart. And I hope you join me for this. And I hope you take just a few of the things that I've mentioned with hope and love. And I just want you to know that you have the power. And I want to celebrate with you. I want to celebrate with you on the other side of this, okay? And if you need anything, call me. Well, don't call me, but email me. You can catch me at imallin110@gmail.com. Angie. Well, this is Angie with I'm All In 110. Extreme kindness in an extreme world. It starts with me, then we, then they, then the world.